In this video, we're going to look at an application to see perimeter in context. Joseph does not own a car, so he bikes everywhere he goes. On Mondays, he must get to school, to work, and back home again. His route is pictured below. So here's his home, school, work, and back home, and the various distances. Joseph starts his day at home. Complete the chart by determining how far he has biked between each location and the total amount he has biked that day at each point. Include units in your answers. So notice this says miles traveled from previous location, starting at home, and here we're going to put the corresponding total miles. So he starts at home. Let's use a highlighter to highlight where he goes. So he's starting here, and when he arrives at school, from home to school, he's traveled 3 miles. Now he's going from school to work, and that's a total of 6 miles. And finally, he goes from work back to home, which is another 6 miles. So those are the different values for his travels, and now we want to find the total amount he travels in a day. So he starts at 0. When he arrives at school, he's traveled 3 miles. When he arrives at work, he's traveled another 6 miles, so a total of 9 miles. And then he returns home, which is another 6 miles, which is 15 miles. Based on the information in your chart, what is the total distance Joseph biked on Monday? Write your answer as a complete sentence. So we see by the time he's returned back home, he's traveled a total of 15 miles. So Joseph has traveled 15 miles on Monday. Now another way to work this situation is to draw a shape that represents Joseph's travel route and label it with the distance from one location to the next as shown below. So notice this shape is a triangle. It looks just like this shape, but we're not necessarily thinking of his route, we're just thinking of it as a figure. And we're going to find the perimeter of this shape. So perimeter is the distance around an object, around the boundary. So we'll use the same type of idea. We can start at any corner. So I'll start here, and we're going to find the different values. From here to here is 6 miles. From this point to this point is another 6 miles. And from this point to this point is 3 miles back to his original location. So in total, we see 12 plus 3, which is 15 miles, just like we saw in the previous problem. So the perimeter is 15 miles. So basically, we made a geometric model of this situation and then found what we call the perimeter of the shape.